I'd like to think it was because I had my coffee today.
Yeah, well...
And my sparkling personality came through. I'm beaming right now.
It's not beaming as much as it is a shit-eating grin.
Oh, there's just there's a lot going on.
Is there?
And I know there's a lot going on with you too, but there's a lot going on with me too. And it's such a catharsis to come sitting here in my little booth, away from everybody, and just talk to you for this time.
Oh, that's it's very, very sad. But I'm glad to hear it.
You have really weird earphones. I don't know when this was a thing, but it's very strange.
Yeah, I used to wear the headphones, which are over the ear. They're closed back headphones, and so they should be isolating sound, but I can hear your voice bleeding into the microphone a little bit with those, and with these I don't. So that's why I wear them now, because these are extremely awesome isolating. And so when I mix, I can still hear my voice coming in through your headphones, because your headphones suck.
You recommended them.
Normally I had never tried them before. I think they're terrible. I don't know why you kept them. I said you should return these pieces of garbage. I'm
a nicer person than you are.
They're fine. They're fine. But actually, the thing is, it wouldn't be a problem if we really were completely live. If we were in the same room together, because then there wouldn't. But because there's a slight delay in the, the virtual meeting thing, there is this odd effect of your voice coming through the headphones at slightly different times than you're actually, speaking in the
Maybe
thing.
that's just because I'm in a big room and it's a reverb.
It's all very technical, but rest assured, your headphones suck, and they are entirely the problem here.
Hi.
Hi. Wait, we already said that part.
Oh, what's new with you?
Nothing worth mentioning, actually, even though I am, I guess, busy with things. But it's all very technical. But rest assured that your headphones are terrible.
That explains it. That explains it.
Yeah.
Did I tell you? I bought it was my father's birthday a couple of months ago, and I bought him a double record.
Meaning you flip it over and there's more on the back?
No, there's two records. Well, obviously, no. Every record you flip it over, there's something on the back.
Yeah.
No, this is a double record. There's two records, which is like 60 minutes of music or something. I mean, I don't know how it works, but it's minutes of music on these records. And it is a comedy show. It's an old comedy show called Fire Sign Theater, and he used to listen to it many years ago, back in the 70s, and they came up with a new record. And so then he had an excuse to hook up his old
reunion
phonograph, and he's like an audio guy, so he has all this
vitriola
stuff. Yeah, right. His Victrola,
brass is that what it's called? Victrola? No, what is it? Is it a Victrola?
Yes.
What did I say? I said vitriola. That's not right. That's completely not right.
It's like a Victrola that insults you.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's you're like, I thought this was a Beatles record, but here it is, just calling me names. But anyway, so we listened to it, and it's so fun to listen to this thing from 1,000 years ago in the 1970s, and that it still works, and it's fun.
Well, speaking of vinyl, what you heard at the beginning was actually the vinyl version of our intro song, and it's another Christian rock group actually called The Saved, and it's their song Just as Wonderful as I'd Imagined It, which is from their 2022 album Songs from the Rapture. Huh.
That sounds amazing.
That date can't be right.
Yeah, it was probably a typo, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. That's probably it. Anyway,
I haven't heard that. I haven't really heard anything about that album, but it sounds great. Like, I'm interested.
Can't find anything about the band either. I heard that they had just formed and they hadn't recorded their first album yet. Anyway, that's confusing. I'll sort it out by next episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do a correction or something when we figure it out.
Yeah.
Anyway, what are we going to talk about today?
Well, I've got an article here that this is actually a groundbreaking discovery. Is this part of our recurring segment where we talk about science? It's
news?
a science news article. It's specifically psychology. It's actually a groundbreaking study. This is just gonna, shatter the way everybody.
Wouldn't that be more geology?
Yes.
Yeah, great. Okay.
Anyway, this is a mind-shattering study. No, mind-blowing study in the field of psychology.
I wonder if there's an equivalent expression for every discipline.
You're choking, and I can't do a virtual Heimlich here. So be careful.
That's right.
No, this is going to completely upend the field. This is from SciPost. This is from SciPost.org. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about ridiculous equivalent things in other disciplines. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, this is filed under mental health, social psychology. This is amazing. The article is titled, "Holding a Partner's Hand While Processing Painful Memories Can Weaken the Lasting Effects of Emotional Pain." Isn't that amazing?
That sounds great. I've never had emotional pain, so I don't really know what it's like. But it sounds useful.
I highly recommend it.
The emotional pain?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're ugly. You mean nothing to anyone. And you'll never amount to anything in your life.
Or maybe that's my constant, and so I don't even really recognize it as different. I don't know.
So this is all very familiar to you.
Maybe. Well, so what does the article say?
It basically just elaborates on that, and it's completely incredible. It says, consoling touch helps facilitate the processing of painful memories. According to findings published in PLOS 1, the study found that while hand-holding does not immediately reduce emotional pain, it appears to reduce the experience of prolonged distress. This is insane. I never imagined that this would be true. This is fascinating too. Emotional pain is commonly experienced and often has a more profound impact on the sufferer than physical pain. Insane, right?
Sure.
I've never heard anything like this. Consoling touch is a powerful form of social support across cultures and species. I didn't know this. But we still don't have a complete picture of how touch shapes experiences of emotional pain, like the experience of loss. And this is just, I really am excited about what else they're going to discover here, because I got to try this. I know you don't like to be touched in general. No, just by you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the smell, really.
Yeah.
No, but
I
do. Yeah, it's true. You should ask my fiance. She doesn't like the. She's really frustrating for her that I don't like to be touched. But no, I do. It's not that I don't like to be touched at all. Just not as much as people who do like to be touched.
I think, yep. I think we're in agreement here.
No, so I read this article because I read this to Clarice, my fiance, because she really gets a kick out of these science articles that are just completely stating the obvious. They're like, there's a new study about. I read this to her and she just burst out laughing instantly.
Because it's obvious to her.
I mean,
this is like more obvious than anything else.
This is more obvious. This is obvious to me, and I don't like to be touched. I mean, this is just it's hilarious. It's just like so. Listen, you obviously don't understand that my inclusion of this article has been ironic. So let me make that very clear. This is not a groundbreaking, fascinating thing to me.
I see.
I am making fun of this article.
Oh.
Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. It's the language barrier. It's a cultural, this is Polish humor. Anyway,
have you ever had on that topic, have you ever had this like emotional pain event that when you shared it with someone else, like when you talked about it or whatever, someone else, it did make it go better, that it did like feel better?
When I talk about it?
Or like when you talk about it, when you're like, I've had things that I've held inside, like things I've been ashamed of or something for years, and then finally like admitted it to like the person who affected, or maybe to someone, some confidant of mine, and it did actually feel like this huge weight was lifted off my shoulders.
And no matter how many times that happens, I still don't learn my lesson and still keep things bottled up inside.
Yes, and later, and then but
Why?
I was
What's
thinking,
wrong with us people?
I was thinking, because it's just you and me here, maybe this is the moment for you to really like share something that maybe is making you uncomfortable. We can hold hands even if you want. I'm gonna just reach through the screen here and I'll just
hold on. Let me put on my Nintendo Power Glove.
Yes, the future of VR, of haptic feedback. But do you have anything you want to talk about? Like, is that I want to
publish to the
No, it's just you and me
internet?
here. You're right. It's just you and me.
I'll edit it out. No. No, I don't. Matt, do you have anything you'd like to share? What is this? What is this? A fucking group therapy here? Come on.
When I was...
It's not why I'm doing this podcast.
When
I'm doing this
podcast
7 years old. To escape from my emotional pain.
I accidentally wet my pants and really was embarrassed by it. That's the truth. And I was old enough to not make that kind of mistake, and it was terrible. And I feel worse. Actually, I feel worse.
I wet my pants. I wet my pants just 5 minutes ago.
Yes.
I wasn't. What's weird is I did wet my pants as a child. But it usually only happened when I was laughing. And here's what I'm going to admit, that I think there was a time all the way in high school where I wet my pants a little bit from laughing in school, and I was terribly. This is embarrassing. Here we go. And I was terribly embarrassed, and I was like trying to be like, oh my God, I hope nobody sees this.
Yes.
And I definitely had that. I had that in grade school. I remember there was one time I really wet my pants. Yes. And then we had to get up out of our desks and go to the computer lab, and sit down there. And I was like terrified that I don't think anybody noticed, because if they had noticed, they would have made fun of me because they're kids.
So I can tell you this. I can tell you this thing, which is that, from being a parent now, that anytime your kid has any excrement whatsoever of any kind on them, it is obvious to everybody. To every adult, it is completely transparently obvious. There is no hiding it. The kid thinks, I'm getting away with this, but that's just a lie.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still, so maybe, the teacher then maybe noticed and didn't say anything. But the kids, I don't remember when this was. This was maybe 3rd grade or 4th grade or something. And I don't think I don't know. Maybe they all noticed, but I just don't think that at that age that the kids had enough.
Yeah, the kids might not have noticed
because the kids
the
were
teacher
like,
knew.
Yeah, because the kids, once you get to a certain age, people are embarrassed themselves and don't bring attention to even the fact that like your fly is open or something, because they're like, I'm not saying anything, and so it's just people just pretend like nothing's happening. But kids, the age that I was at this time was not the age when kids have the sense to do that. And
I've been watching. I agree with that 1,000%. I've been watching this series on YouTube, which is like Candid Camera, called Just for Laughs, which is the Canadian Candid Camera, and and it's funny. It's fun to watch. But there's this one my wife and I watched yesterday where a girl is like selling lemonade, and she goes to the bathroom and asks someone to watch the lemonade stand, the random victim, to watch the lemonade stand. And then she comes out, and by the time she comes out, some police officers have come up, fake police officers, and they arrest the girl, like put her in the car and like drive away. And she's like 8 years old, like they're just like girls.
Yeah.
And of the ones they showed on the screen, I would say 5 out of 6 of them just stood there like being like, like, you can't do that. Only one person like picked up the girl and like pushed the police officer away. He's like, no. You cannot take this random girl into a car no matter what's going on. Like, that is never acceptable.
Oh,
and
man.
It's amazing how many few people just refuse to speak up.
That's a whole, and I'm not immune from that. That's a whole other topic of conversation, which is fantastic. But I love that kind of stuff. All those like sociological experiments. There's a great movie I'm going to recommend, which is probably very hard to find, but it was actually, speaking of Candid Camera, it was directed by Alan Funt, the guy who created, or was the host of Candid Camera or whatever back in the 60s or whenever that was. And it was from, I think, 1970, this movie, and it's called What Do You Say to a Naked Lady? And it's rated R. And so it's fun
I think I've seen that
I probably showed it to you. It's really great because it's about all this stuff where like they put these ridiculous situations, like this completely naked woman just gets in an elevator with people and they just... or whatever. Like, there's so many things in the movie, and it's really fun to just watch, like, because it's true. People just they go along with everything because the fear of saying something and then being made to feel stupid because you realize there's a good reason for this happening that you didn't think of. That's what it is. It's like, you're like, why are you doing this? It's like, because of this. It's like, oh, right. Now I feel like an idiot. And so, like, you just assume that as crazy as this is, there's probably some reason for it that I haven't thought of, and I'm going to keep my mouth shut. And so I'm just going to go along with everything. Yeah.
Yes.
I love it.
Let's get to the Mad Hat.
We got to get to the Mad Hat. But first, this podcast was brought to you by Very Solution. Are you tired of problem? Was you trying big many other solution, but all of other solution not work? This why you need Very Solution. Very Solution make problem go away forever, and then you happy. Other solution work no good, or only work for small time and then stop work, but Very Solution work real good and keep work so problem don't come back. Why is Very Solution work so many better than other solution? Is because Very Solution new solution with new space laser ninja robot, but other solution same dumb old boring no fun solution. We make tests, and tests show that Very Solution work a cajillion times more better than other solution. But what if you having really big scary problem? Is okay because even if problem very very bad, Very Solution still work, or else we give monies back so pay nothing. We working at Very Solution for many long time, so we know how make solution. We know cheat you because everyone know Very Solution is best solution. We started company like 1 billion years ago, and we always been the best ones. And Very Solution only cost this many dollars. This many dollars, not a lot of dollars. Other solution cost more many monies, but Very Solution very very cheap, so make you even more happy. Also, we have big mega warranty for infinity years. Is mean that even if Very Solution stop work, we fix for you and you pay no monies and the Very Solution work again, and big mega warranty lasts forever and ever times infinity. And if you buying Very Solution right now, you get another one more Very solution for free. So you only paying one Very solution, but you getting another one Very solution. You pay no monies. It's for free times 100. But you have to buy now. You have to buy in 5 seconds. Why are you still waiting for? You should get Very solution. It's really, really good. My dad says it's really good. Very solution. You should get it. It's really good. Very solution only work for problem. If you're using Very solution for other problem, Very solution not work, and we're not going to give you monies back. We keep monies. Also, we make rules for how make Very solution work. If you don't follow rules and you break Very solution, we make big mega warranty go away forever because it's not fair, because it's not our fault. If you break Very solution, we keep monies and you never get monies back, and we no fix Very solution for you because it's not our fault. Very solution no work anymore. Yeah.
I feel like I have a problem. I feel like I have a problem that could be addressed by Very solution.
It's not likely. It's not likely.
All right.
It doesn't sound very good, this product. I don't want to go with them anymore.
Whoa. Don't diss the sponsors.
I don't like it. I do appreciate, though, how well they really speak to, consumers. Because I feel like if people are honest, these are the things that they think when they're listening to a commercial. So it's, Anyway, I've
got this Pavlovian response where I'm getting excited when I hear the sound of paper rustling.
Yeah,
that must be the Matt hat.
It's the Matt hat. I keep a towel next to my recording desk here just for this reason, because this Matt hat is delicious. Anyway,
if you want to put your idea in the Matt hat and maybe get it drawn during one of these podcasts, feel free to go to our website, matthatters.com, and click the link and give us your idea for what should go in the Matt hat. We may draw it and we may talk about it on the air. Yeah,
what he said. On the air, that's right. Live on the air. Okay, let's take a look. Oh, here's a topic today, and this was submitted by somebody. The topic is autonomous vehicles. Would you be comfortable riding in one? And this is from Ben or Karen. It's actually Ben and Karen McGlockskowitz on 124 Maple Lane, Social Security number 555-555-555. I think that's the what I did was never mind. I didn't hyphenate it properly. Okay,
Naperville, Illinois.
Yeah,
sorry.
Autonomous vehicles. I mean,
like self-driving cars. This is like self-driving cars, right?
I'm assuming, yeah.
Or self-driving planes.
Oh yeah, it says vehicles.
Self-flying planes.
Oh boy,
actually.
That's a whole other. I mean, there's a lot of different
self-navigating boats.
Yeah,
self-piloting boats.
I mean,
self-navigating wheelchairs.
My answer is a hesitant
Segways.
yes. Segways.
You hop on, they just take you where you need to go.
What about self-walking shoes? I don't know.
Oh, that would be actually amazing.
Just
you
relax.
You have different. No. You go. Yeah. You wake up. You open your closet. There's like 8 pairs of shoes with different destinations labeled on each one.
Oh,
and one's like
annoying.
One's like Jewel. One's like One's like one's like Starbucks.
Well, eventually,
McDonald's.
no. But later they'll make it so that you only have to buy one shoe, and then you put in a cartridge, depending on where you want to go. But
that's such a good idea.
Then, like 10 years after that, you'll be able to actually just type, program the shoe. You'll be able to, like,
and you feel this warmth in your feet, and you hear this slight crackling sound and a small smell of sulfur, and the next thing you know, you're walking very quickly directly towards McDonald's or Starbucks.
And then there will be firmware updates for the bug that makes you fall off a cliff.
Whoa, that only happens in certain terrain situations.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's why you type in your location when you sign up for your account.
That's right. They give different shoes. They were just using the shoes improperly in an unregistered location, and it makes sense.
I
but
really,
still, the safe to recall. Yeah.
I really think we should drive the listeners crazy by not actually answering the question seriously.
I'm
and just
sorry.
Going on like
what
this.
was the question again?
They're going to be like, I wanted this question answered. But they're dragging their feet, no pun intended, with the shoe thing. Anyway,
And just think about all of the. Just think, maybe even if you
Let's start
didn't
with
know where
cars.
to go, the shoes. Okay.
Let's start with cars.
Okay. Fine.
Would you be comfortable in a self-driving car?
So I have never been in a self-driving car.
Me neither.
I have never
guess.
been in a approximately self-driving car, even the ones that can park by themselves, or the ones that, while on the highway, can drive and turn for you and generally not smash into things.
Yeah.
But I would be 1,000% down getting into a self-driving car. It would be really fun.
I think, I mean, I would be, but yeah, there is that part of me, I think, that is like,
there's this like whoa shit moment, right? When you like,
but the thing is,
right when you're sitting in the back seat and you're looking at the non-existent driver, and you're sitting in the car and you're like, well, what do I have to do? And then the next thing you know, the door shuts by itself.
You're in a Johnny cab.
and the car starts
am I
like, you see
doing
the wheel
here?
turn. You see the wheel turn.
How did they
and
get
the
in
car
this
starts
taxi? The door opened. You got in. Hell of a day, isn't it? I'm going to continue with the whole movie now.
And then the car starts to drive by itself, and there's this moment of like there's no way to avoid that initial moment of like holding down on the seat a little bit harder. Or
Yeah,
like
they'll have to have extra handles. You know how they have the handles above the door?
That's right.
Which I had a friend once call the oh shit handle.
That's right.
Actually,
That's
a
right.
friend of mine had one of those handles in the car that was not secured properly, and it would break off when you pulled it. And so he called it a double oh shit handle, because you're getting your car is about to crash, and so you go oh shit, and you grab the handle, and then the handle breaks off, and you go oh shit. So yeah.
Anyway, you'd be terrified. Like it like that moment is terrifying, because you're like, suddenly all of the theory about I'm going to be in a car and go somewhere becomes the reality of I'm in a car that is moving down the road and no one is driving.
Yeah.
And that is really weird.
Well, I would. So my answer generally is that even if I had some hesitancy at the beginning, I eventually would get over it, and I would be willing to do it. I think I'm the kind of person who would be like, I'm going to wait like a year when they're like widespread or whatever, when they're like widely available, and see how many people die. But I mean, like, people die in car accidents all the time, right? Like from
20,000 a year.
Yeah, lots. And so from controlling, there is a sort of psychological thing about people that they like to be in control physically immediately of the thing that they're doing. It's interesting to me, because even when it's like things like, I think about this all the time when like I'm trying to do something, or like my fiance's trying to do something, and like I have this urge, like she's not successful, right? Like something's going on. It's like a knot. She's trying to untie or something, and I'm standing there watching her do it, and I'm waiting for her to get to succeed, and it's not working. And I just have this urge to be like, here, let me do it. And then I try to do it, and I'm just as bad at it, right? Because there's obviously a difficulty to it, that's not.
Yes.
And I'm not any better, but I feel like I'm getting somewhere more than I was when she was trying to do it. And it has nothing to do with what's actually happening. It's just this weird thing in your head. And I think it's the same thing about driving. Like when I'm driving, I don't necessarily. I'm sure there's all kinds of things I do that aren't safe or whatever. Everybody's got bad habits. I have been
in the car with you, and I can guarantee that's true. I can 100%.
But like when you're in the passenger seat, you just automatically feel more nervous, because you're like, oh my God, this person's doing this thing that's not safe.
I mean, when I get in your car, I just instinctively press both of my legs as far apart as I can to brace myself against the passenger compartment.
But then you're
grab the
exposing
handle
your
to my
nutsack.
right. No. You're not there. So I'm grabbing the handle to my right, and then I'm covering my balls because obviously.
With the other hand, important. Yeah.
If you've ever wondered why I assume that position in your car, it's just it's the driving. It's not just a me thing.
And that also explains the teeth chattering, which I always thought was a mechanical problem with my car, but it's just your jaw.
It could be, yeah.
But so it's
not that your car doesn't need work. Right.
But I think that it's that's what I was saying was what I meant to say. So I'm done.
I know a lot about how self-driving cars work, like in the internals, both in the computer parts and in the driving parts. And I think that I think the people who are working really hard to make it real are doing so with good intentions, because I think that it's possible. And I looked it up. It's 100 people die a day from car accidents in the U.S. So it's like 36,000 a year. And their goal is to reduce the number of people who are dying in car accidents because the cars drive safer than people, and they can react faster, and they don't drive as uncarefully or as unsafely as humans. And so I think that it's likely they'll realize that goal. Like, as autonomous vehicles become more and more widespread, I think that the number of people who die from car accidents will go down. And I think in general, a lot of people's lives will become a lot better not having to drive all the time. Imagine, just a lot better not having to drive all the time. So, and a lot of people who couldn't otherwise drive are now able to just use roads like it's no big deal. So I think there's an accessibility part of it too, which is nice.
The accessibility thing is still an open question, because I don't think that a lot of governments are going to make it legal to drive in a self-driving car unless you have the ability to drive it. If something goes wrong, you can take over, right? All these cars are going to have that feature where you hit the brakes manually, and then the autopilot will deactivate, and you'll be able to take over.
Yeah.
So I think I don't know how much it's gonna.
Well, I can already tell you that the Waymo service in Arizona is already doing self-driving car trials for a taxi service. So you just push a button, it shows up, you sit in the back seat. There's no one in the front seat, and it just takes you where you need to go. So in that case, there is no even taking over for a human driver, because you're in the back seat. You could leap to the front and slam on your brakes. But anyway, my point is I think that these are good aims. I think this is a reasonable thing, but I know that there's a lot of hard problems still to solve. For example, rain is unknown. I don't know if cars can handle rain. They've been mostly testing them in places that are very dry, like Arizona or Texas or Southern California or something, or
snow,
or Nevada, or snow. Right? Snow is hard. Snow's hard for humans in a lot of ways, and once you've been in snow as a driver, while you know how to do it, it's not so bad. But there's a lot of situations you can get into that are really unsafe, and there's a lot of times where you can't really see very well because of snow. It's all uniformly white. It's hard to figure out where the road is sometimes, and blah blah. And you have to just rely on your intuition of having been in that situation 100 times or been on that road 100 times. And in those cases, that's where I think that the cars are a little scarier. So if it were a big thunderstorm, or if it were a big snowstorm, that would be weird. It'd be weird to drive in those cars.
Well, it's not a black and white question. There's also, even now, most cars nowadays have these extra safety features that are sort of breaking into the self-driving thing.
Right.
Actually, I can't even think of any examples now. But
so I have on my minivan, I have a thing that will keep the car in the lanes, automatically, while driving, or one that it's a adaptive cruise control, which will measure the distance from me and the near car, and if the car starts to slow down, my car will automatically slow down and not slam into them because of the cruise control like it used to be. Things like that. So there is a bunch of tech that is finding its way into consumer.
So it's kind
cars.
of and I mean, I think it's going to be a gradual thing. I mean, I'm sure people. This question could have been asked 100 years ago about flying in planes, and I still have the same, and I still have that feeling. I don't fly like all the time, but I mean, I've flown quite a number of times in my life, but I still have the feeling like you get on the plane and you start flying and you're like, this is crazy. Like,
yes.
I am not supposed to be suspended in the air like this. It's just not natural. And it's like this thing your brain has to get over. And so I think that's going to happen. But then you remind yourself, but statistically, flying is safer to travel. And so and I think certainly once it becomes like there's enough like statistical evidence that self-driving cars actually are safer, then I'm not going to say no. I'm going to do it. It's like getting in a roller coaster too, right? You're like, oh my god, this is scary.
You don't want to be the first one to ride the roller coaster.
Yeah.
You want to be like the 1,000th person.
But I trust roller coasters. Like I'll be the first one to ride maybe not the very first one, but I'll go on at the first day it's open. Like I assume it's been tested, and these cars are going to be tested. But it's still. I wanted to say,
Here's the thing. Here's the question that you should ask me. Would you put your kids in the car in a self-driving autonomous car?
Would you put your kids in an autonomous car?
Maybe. It would kind of It would. I think that's an even more interesting question because so often, as many parents know, so much of your non-COVID life is driving kids around for various reasons: play dates, school activities, extracurricular activities, visiting family, whatever, shuffling the kids around. But the ability to be like, all right, kiddo, I'm going to go send you to your aunt and uncle in Maryland, and the cars are going to take you there and come back. It'll take 15 hours. Go enjoy, and or even something simpler where it's like, oh, take you to mom and dad's house. It's here at grandma and grandpa's house. It's 10 minutes away. Hop in the car. They'll take you there. Like that seems even weirder to me than driving in the car myself. Right. It seems like a bigger risk, like in so many ways.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'd be comfortable with that yet.
Right. Well, you say yet, and so I do also want to get to address the question of like where are we now, because I remember when this stuff was still first like getting announced like a few years ago, and I honestly haven't been keeping up with it. I don't even know. It seems like it's hit like some kind of a snag or something, because like I feel like there should be more self-driving cars out by now or something like that. Because I heard my company was supposed to be testing like self-driving trucks or something,
right?
At a certain point, and that went nowhere. That was like a few years ago. So like I don't know what's going on. And then there was like a few years ago there some kind of self-driving car that like hit some pedestrian or something that was in the news. And so that I don't know. I just haven't heard anything in the last few years about self-driving cars.
Oh, I mean the one from there was a Tesla was in the news a couple days ago because a guy hops into his cool new Tesla, hopped into the passengers. He got his friend in the passenger seat. He hopped in the back seats, told it to drive somewhere, and it smashed into a tree and killed them both. Like 100 yards from their house.
Yeah, it's really funny. I'm glad you're laughing.
And that's the kind of, so Tesla hasn't quite figured it out yet, clearly. they have a lower bar for how many people they're willing to kill on the way to
I thought there was something way back
cars.
in like 2013 or something about some...
probably.
I don't know.
Probably.
I don't even know if there are self-driving cars on the market right now. Is this happening?
So if you live in Phoenix, in the Phoenix, Arizona area, and there are a few suburbs that you can get a anonymous Google car to come visit you and drive you places. Autonomous, not anonymous.
And this
autonomous
is already like in...
That's a thing, yes.
Yeah.
And they did, and so that's a thing that exists, and you can do.
Yeah.
And it's like an app on your phone that's like Uber or Lyft. There's like a price that tells you for going from here to here, and you agree to that price, hit go, and a car shows up with no driver, or sometimes with a safety driver, as they call it, and then you hop in and they take you places.
And how many people are dead?
I don't know. So I don't think any. I feel like I would have heard it. I've heard they've gotten into a car accident, but I'm not sure if that was under the control of the driver, the safety driver, or under control of the machine at the time.
That's the other thing is like, yeah, if it's the user error, driver error. I
bet the National Transportation Safety Board really cares about this sort of stuff though, and is looking into this a lot.
I mean, I think that, we're in a period of awkwardness about this, but certainly eventually I would be comfortable with any self-driving vehicle, really, if I felt like it was
even shoes
properly tested and also gotten like, a real world trial run, and then I'd be like, all right, I'm assuming it's safe enough, or at least it's safer than driving on my own, which is I
can vouch for is not a safe environment.
Yeah, so like
it's the sexual harassment. It's not the driving.
It's the sexual harassment. That's going to be the problem with self-driving cars. You're saying?
No, with your car.
Oh, yeah. Again, the teeth chattering is making more and more sense.
Anyway, but I think we nailed this topic. I always say that, but I think we talked about that. I love people asking us topics that we know a lot that That you know a lot about. That's true. I love talking about topics that I know a lot about.
You know everything. You're just you're like a walking encyclopedia of knowledge.
I'm an Encyclopedia Britannica. I'm a World Book Encyclopedia.
Yeah, Encyclopedia Americana. Yeah.
I have one fact about everything.
Yeah.
That might be wrong.
It's perfect for podcasting.
Lowest bar. There we are. Found the low bar medium. Perfect for me.
Yeah, everyone, it's like a magic trick. Sleight of hand. It's perfect for sleight of hand. Wow, these guys are really smart. They really know what they're talking about. Remember the one fact. Remember the fact. You got to say it on the air. Okay, now how does this door handle work? That's what you go back to after.
Push or pull. Anyway, so let's wrap this up.
Fine.
Let's end the show.
I was having fun this time for some reason because it's such tedious work doing this shit. But this time it was okay.
I'm glad.
Anyway, please go ahead and submit your own topics because they may get pulled from the Mad Hat like one was today. And we will discuss your topic.
Ben and Karen.
Yes.
Thank you, Ben and Karen, for the amazing topic suggestion.
I'm shipping Baron. Anyway, so, God, it's just
what?
Well, if it's Ben and Karen, I don't know. Whatever. You have you keep taking drinks of water, and then there's never a spit take, and it's really disappointing because I keep shooting for one, and it's just not happening. You're always able to maintain your composure just long enough. Are
you trying to moisten my microphone? Is that what you're saying? This is your goal?
I want to see how well that pop filter works. You also have a windscreen. I mean, you're set. Anyway, submit your topics to the goddamn Mad Hat. Go to the
MadHatters.com
and click on the link that says
MadHatters.com.
Yeah, and
MadHatters.
And you can send an email. And it'll be great.
Mad Hatters.
And tune in a couple weeks for another episode. That's it for today. Thank you for listening.
MadHatters.com.
Shut up, other Matt. We will send you off today with a song by the band The Literalists. And from their album Tautology, here is Baby, You're an Infant. Matt, do you have anything you'd like to share?
A couple of months ago, I had constant excrement covering my balls for various reasons. Play dates, school activities, extracurricular activities, visiting family, my father's birthday at Grandma and Grandpa's house, Starbucks, McDonald's, sexual harassment, certain terrain situations from being a parent. Ben and Karen trying to moisten my microphone, emotional pain. It is completely transparently obvious. There is no hiding it. And it's amazing how few people just refuse to speak up. I feel like I have a problem. I feel like I've got this Pavlovian response from getting excited. I just instinctively press both of my legs as far apart as I can to brace myself. And there's this whoa shit moment, and you feel this warmth. That moment is terrifying, and you have to just rely on your intuition of having been in that situation 100 times. Anyway, it's such a catharsis. I love talking about topics that I know a lot about.